Welcome, guys. So, how are we doing today? It's me, Diablo, and I'm here to teach you a couple things today. All right. Now, we're about one day left into season one, and I'm sure everyone has thoughts and ideas, possible concerns about how everything was implemented. The biggest thing, of course, is just the fact that there are so many cards and not that many people collected all of the season collections. Okay. For some reason, it's been a lot about packs this year, a lot more about putting stubs into the buying packs and getting the cards, and less grind and more just pay. Shut out the credit card and there's your team. Now, here's the thing, right? My goal is to have as little people as possible actually do that, or at the very least, offer a choice. If you want to use a credit card, you can. Or if you want to save your money in your wallet and you want to do it with as little money used as possible, there's an opportunity to do so as well. People have been complaining that flipping has been harder this year. I tend to disagree to an extent, but I understand where they're coming from. Now, point being, what I want to show you right now is, obviously, if you can take a look at my name on the top left, you see my stubs, right? It's a nice amount of stubs. I have a couple of cards that couple of cards that I still have to go ahead and sell, but I'm sure that once I get these cards sold, I'm back over 3 million stubs, right? Nice amount of stubs. And if you look at my binder, I have most of the cards, live series, a few missing, but most of the cards, couple here, couple there that I could still buy or earn from Team Infinity 3, Season 1, Chapter 3, I should say, right? Really, the only thing I'm missing are a couple of cards in the market, couple of cards to grind for Team Infinity, and just a couple of those team captain cards that really no one has all of yet, right? And so that is to say that basically I have just about every card in the game that I could right now. And the best part is I did it all no money spent, right? Okay, so now that I've said that, okay, I want to show you guys how I did it so you can do it too, okay? So here's the thing. First and foremost, I flipped. Point blank. You can look at my completed orders. I have 1,200 pages worth of just flips, buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling, right? A lot of it, of course. But again, that got me to where I'm at now, to where I completed Babe Ruth. I have all the collection rewards. I'll come show you again, actually, over here. Look, Babe is done, as you can see, okay? Special collections are done. I have all of the Season 1 awards, which, incidentally, I did zero grinding for it. I just bought the cards. Right? For me, it was easier to do so because I had the stubs and I didn't want to actually grind it. Your choice, okay? I have, of course, Vlad, you can see over here as well. Season collections, I have all of them done. I have the 401 cards collected, so I have all of those done, as well as the chase pack. All set. Again, a couple cards here that I got to collect, but basically everything is done, okay? So, here's the thing. Again, like I mentioned, I flipped, right? So, this is going to kind of go... Again, like I said, it'll be like a teaching session, right? It'll kind of be like an expedited process, 101. Look at it like in college, right? Flipping 101. What is flipping? Then how to do it best, for example, and what to use and like the levels to do it, okay? So let's begin. First and foremost, what is flipping? So you can look over here. I'll just use Spencer Strider since it's the first card you see. You can see over here you have a buy now order, and you have an amount of stubs for said buy now, and you have a sell now order, and the amount of stubs for that sell now order as well. When you click buy sell options, you'll reveal this part of the card, right? Now, again, buy now is on the left, sell now is on the right. In essence, what you're doing is you're placing a buy order. You're not buying it now because you're buying it for that price right there, the $58,500. You're placing a buy order. And in essence, what I do is I will usually place a buy order for one more than what is over here on the right-hand side on the sell now. Does that make any sense? So again, you have a buy now, you have a sell now. The buy now is in essence, we'll get to that in a second actually, but the sell now is what we're focusing on right now, that column. Because you're going to be placing an order for one more stub higher than what is in that right column. So if I were to place an order, I'd be putting it for $49,625, for example. Okay? I'm not going to do that right now, but I could. That's part one of the flip. Then what happens next is, if let's say you bought the card at that amount, the next step is you'd come over here, and then what you would do is you'd place a sell order on that card. Again, you're not selling it now for that price. You're creating a sell order. And in this case, what you're doing is you're creating an order that is one stub less than what the order shows on the left column. As you can see right now, it would be $58,489. Now, at this point, if you look above the price bar that's highlighted in purple, you can see seller will receive $52,640. After you make the sell of the $58,000, there is a, I believe, 10% tax. Yeah, 10% tax. And so the money you're actually going to be getting is those stubs right there, the $52,640. At the end of the day, once these two things are done, theoretically, what you would have done is make 3,000 stubs. You would have bought the card for $49,600. You would have sold the card for $52,600, and in essence made 3,000 stubs on that flip. So that is how flips work. Okay, that's the first part, right? Again, just to recap, you have the buy now order on the left column, the sell now order on the right column. When you flipping, you're never going to buy anything now, nor will you sell anything now. But what you are doing is placing a buy order, which is reflected on the right column. And then when you have the card, you'll place a sell order, which will then be reflected on the left column. Okay, that's a flip. So that's part one. Okay. Now, part two is, in essence, what to flip, how to flip, when to flip, right? Those are the three main things: what, how, and when, okay? So first we're gonna go over the how, right? How do you flip? You can flip on here. There are really three main options you can do so. You can flip on the console itself, which is what you will be doing it over here, for example. You pick your cards, you flip, you go from there, okay? You could flip on the app, which is mostly how I do it, and I'll go over how that works. Unfortunately, I can't do it on the app. I don't have the equipment to, I guess, overlay the app on the video, but I guess, please, questions in the comments. I will help you go over it, no worries. I'll try to be as descriptive as possible with the app, though. So, you have console, you have the app. You can also flip on your, or on, I should say, the show website. You can do it on your phone, you can do it on a desktop or a laptop. I personally feel like that's probably the least comfortable way for me to do it. I feel like it's not as fast as it would be on the console. It's not as informative as it would be, or as easy, or informative and as intuitive as it would be on the app. So of the three, I rank that the bottom. Again, I mentioned that you can flip on the app. That's what I do. I recommend that as the most because it also gives you the most information. Okay? But those are the ways to do it. Now, here comes, of course, the meat of everything, right? What to flip and when to flip. I'm going to go over when first because that's pretty much a blanket scenario description. So, currently I live in the East, so we're going to go and operate with Eastern time zones, right? Right now it's 10 a.m. as I'm recording this video. And realistically, I wouldn't really flip now. People usually now are at work. It's a weekday. It's Thursday. People are usually at work. They're not really by the game or computers or things of that sort. And so I probably wouldn't flip now. Usually I tend to flip more after the work hours are done. So you're thinking like around 3 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Me specifically, I recommend 5, 6 p.m. where you start. And then you finish around 10, 11 p.m. at night. Again, my time. So you have a 5-hour time frame during the week to do so. Okay? That's part one of the when. Part two, do not flip on Fridays. Okay? Or more specifically, when content releases happen. They usually happen on Friday. Sometimes you'll get like a new pack on a Tuesday that may deflate a couple of the cards. But more so, I'm focused on, I guess, new program releases, bigger content drops, even changes in the roster. On like live roster changes. Although those not so much. More so just like the big Friday content drop. So for example, tomorrow's Friday, we're going to have the beginning of season 2. That would be considered a big drop. That would drastically change prices, most likely, of the cards we already have in the market. And so I would stay away from flipping on Friday. But on the flip side, you can basically flip all day Saturday and Sunday if you so choose. So I could wake up, I say noon, my time. Anywhere from noon to 10 p.m., you should be good to go to flip on Saturday and Sunday. There are no content drops. People are usually off from school, from work, from life, I guess, to play the game more so. So you'll have more people here into the market to do so. And then just flip, enjoy, make your stubs, have fun, buy your cards, you're chilling. Okay? That's the when. Now, here is the what. What do you flip? You can flip a bunch of different things. I'm currently in the MLB card section. You can flip equipment, right? Some of these have pretty good margins if you so choose to do so. You can do that, right? You can flip sponsorships. Those, iffy. I'd say those don't sell as much, and it's a harder flip to do. Same with the stadiums, a harder flip. Most of the perks actually flip pretty quickly, and again, it depends on where you're at in terms of your stubbage and things like that. I used to flip perks. I kind of stopped. Again, some of them have good margins. Depending on what you're looking at for stubs, you're going to get a good percentage back on each flip. But I kind of strayed away from that more so because I've gotten to a place where I can flip better with the MLB cards. Now, for this specific video, I'm going to focus on the MLB cards. Reason being is I feel like from what I mentioned, these will in fact offer you the best margins and the best profits per flip and the quickest. And so you can make the most stubs. Again, I flip cards, I flipped equipment, I flipped the perks as well. And of the three, I have had the best experience with flipping the actual MLB cards. Okay? Again, if you have any questions or comments with regards to how to do so with the equipment or how to do so with the perks, more or less what I'm saying now can kind of follow through with either one. If you have any specific other questions with regards to that, please, again, my comments are open. You can go ahead and hit me up. I will leave my Twitter link. My DMs are open if you want to question me on there as well. I have no problem talking to anyone who has any questions to help you out with what you need to do. Now, MLB cards. So here's the thing. When you decide which cards you are going to flip, you press square over here in the console. The filter is going to be your best friend. For this portion, I'm going to remove my face so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, and we'll kind of go from there. All right, so here we go. Again, filter is going to be your best friend. You can see over here everything here: minimum price, max price, overall, min and max, position, team, the series, set, rarity, and affordable. So now, here's the question you have to ask yourself. The first thing you have to ask yourself is, how many stubs do you have in your bank? That will determine the kind of card you're looking to flip. And as such, it's going to determine how you're going to filter it out. So this is more or less, I guess, my barometers, if you will. If you have anything less than, let's say, 100,000 stubs, right, I would recommend that you filter a max price. I want to just put 8,000, but I want to target specific cards right now, right? Oh, and one more thing I should mention as well, sorry, is I focus on diamond cards. Some of the gold cards are good flips, but I found that the gold cards that are worth flips usually tend to be tied to the Battle Royale program. And in general, the Battle Royale program cards are a little bit of a harder flip than the other cards we have here. Cards that come from packs, cards that come from, well, packs really is a big one, right? This is why I stick to the diamonds. Again, so you're on diamonds. The max, by the way, this I believe refers to the max buy now price, right? Again, this is the column on the left. So I filter out to 8,000. You have 8 pages of cards to choose from. Again, if you have less than 100,000 stubs to work with, these are the cards you can work with. Now, if you really so choose, you can filter it even more to, let's say, 5,000 a piece. And then you can work with some of these cards over here, like this Jackson Merrill, for example, where you could put a buy now. I believe it's 2,200 is the minimum, 2,250. So you put a 2,250 buy order on this one, okay? Which I'll go over how that works for you and your benefit as well in a minute. But you put a 2,250, you'd buy for 2,250, then you'd sell for 2,744, and you would have made 220 stubs off of that flip. And these go pretty quick, so you can make these happen, again, in bulk. You'll be doing these cards, you can be doing 40 or so orders of these cards at one time, and those flip go pretty quickly. Charlie Morin, again, like I said, he's a BR card. You get him from BR, as you can see over here. But the flip itself is pretty good, and so I recommend doing that as well, right? Again, I think to 8,000, I think that's a pretty nice round number. You have a nice amount of cards to work with through the page, okay? And then all you have to do, again, it's the same concept. You put the buy order, you then put the sell order. When you get the card, you flip the cards. Each one of these, well, that one I should say, looking like about 1,000 flip, 1,000 per flip, 1,000 per flip. A lot of these will get you 700 to 1,000 per flip. Okay, the flips with these cards, because they cost less, they tend to go a little quicker as well. And so, of course, you sit down and you do it for some time. I see no reason why you can't flip enough to get yourself from 100,000 to 200,000 stubs in one day, or even more, depending on how much you flip. Okay, so this is the first part of the how, or the what. Now, with this, there are a couple of things I want to explain. Number one, I repeat, I do not flip live series cards. Not ever, not once, nor will I ever. Some of these have pretty good numbers between them for the flips and such. That one, not so much, but some of them have okay numbers where you can flip and make some money. The reason why I don't is because of the fact these are live series cards. These cards go the fastest. You can place an order. It'll be bought a lot of times pretty quickly. You can sell a lot of times. It could be sold pretty quickly. Here's the thing, though, with that. The flip side with that, and I've noticed this specifically with the live series cards mostly. Because of the velocity in which this can happen, because of the fact that specifically with the cards 89 overall and under, they're going to be pulled multiple times all the time. There's always going to be an influx of these cards in the market. These cards are infinite. There is no finite amount of these cards. You can always pull another one of a Tarek Scoble, for example. Okay? And so as such, I could in theory, and it's happened to me multiple times before, I could in theory place an order for the Scoble at 62.25 and then never get a chance to sell him until he gets down to like about 6,500, and then I've lost on that flip. I recommend not doing that, and so I don't touch the live series. That's the first thing. Now, coming back to these cards, and I've noticed this specifically with the Soul series, as well as where are they? These cards as well, the Spring Breakout series. A lot of these cards tend to have a 0 in their sell now. And so what that means is you can actually put, in essence, you can buy the card for quick sale value. So in this case, again, your price is less than the quick sale value of $22.50. I put 5 stubs, obviously I can't put that. So you can buy for $22.50. Here's the thing with these flips, okay? You can put as many of these as you want with not a problem. You will never, ever, ever have to deal with the prospect of losing money on this flip. The worst you can do is 0. Because again, if you buy this card at $22.50 and for some reason, let's say you place a sell order at $2,300 for some reason. $2,300 is less than $2,250. So you don't want to place that sell order. However, if it ever gets to that point where the best you can do is at that number, quick sell. You quick sell for $2,250 and you've broken even. And that's the worst that you can do. Now, usually these cards go for about $200-300 profit per flip. But again, if for some reason ever there is a time in which you're making no money on a flip, quick sell, you're breaking even. Okay? These, for the novices who don't 100% know what you guys are doing, are probably going to be your best friends, because it's kind of like riding a bike on training wheels. There's literally no way for you to fail. You can only succeed and learn the process and learn how to get better and then go from there. Okay? So again, those are the two things that I wanted to mention here specifically. And then there's that. So now I mentioned, in essence, kind of like a price range that I recommend if you have anything under 100,000 stubs. Now, if you have anything under, I'd say 250 to 300,000 stubs, what I recommend is I went to the 15,000 range, right? Here, you're looking at a few more pages and more to work with. And for some of these, bigger margins per flip. For example, you flip a Mike Cameron, you're making 3,000 stubs on this one flip, which, remember what I said before, I was using the Spencer Strider as an example. That card, you're buying it for 48,000 and making 3,000 on that flip, versus this card, you're buying it for 10,000, making the same profit on that flip. This is an example of a super valuable card to flip when you can. You are getting a 30% return on your investment. You flip enough of these bad boys, you're sitting pretty with your stubs within a couple of days tops, okay? Now again, you could of course do the same card if you have 100,000 stubs. The thing is, you can only do 8 or 9 at a time of these kinds of cards. And again, while the flips are good, you do, let's say, 8 out of those at a time, you're making 30,000 stubs on all those flips on the first round of them. I like to flip with volume more, at least in the beginning, than just like specific profits on any one card, because of how I flip, I guess, my actual process, which I will go over more towards the end. Okay? But again, anything under 300,000 stubs, I usually go 15,000 stubs over here, right? Now, 500,000 stubs, at that point, you can go two different ways. You can go to about the 25,000 range if you want. That opens it up. You have now 15 pages to work with. 15 pages right there gives you 15 times 15 is going to be 225 cards to work with. And you can flip just about, not every single one of them, but just about every single one of them. And again, to have 200 cards, I'd say about 200 cards out there is pretty good to have in bulk. And again, I'll go over why that is important afterwards when we're done. Now, anything more than that, realistically, you don't have to have a limit. I'll tell you right now, my limit is 30,000 stubs. That's where I stop. I feel like 30,000 stubs, if you have anything more than 500,000 stubs in your bank, this is going to get you a couple of cards, like a Lars Nootbaar, right? Which, again, isn't a better flip than the Mike Cameron we saw before, but you're still going to get good money on said flip. This one is going to give you about, I think, 2,000. Let me see. 29,956 gets you 26,9. So yeah, about 2.9 K in stubs per flip, right? This just kind of opens you up a little bit more to getting more cards you can choose from and flip those cards. JD Martinez, I think this will give you about 3,000 per flip if you're doing it at this price. Let's see, 24, 221, 21.7. Okay, a little bit less, 2.4. That is my limit. Now, again, you don't need to have a limit once you get to those stubs. You can just put it like that, full out. The thing is, as you get to more and more stubs per card, what tends to happen is there's kind of a bell curve where you're not going to make as much per flip. And so I tend to not touch those. Example, Matt Olson. You would sell him at 55,238. You would make 3.7 thousand, which is not bad. But for the amount that you're spending for him, not the best, I would say. Okay? So, again, we have, to recap, if you're at about 100,000, my personal recommendation, limit yourself to 8,000 buy now order per card. If you're at about 300 and less, double that to 15 if you want to. Whoops, not 14, sorry. 15 if you want to. Opens it up, you're going to get 4 more pages, 60 more cards to choose from. If you're at 500,000 plus, open yourself up to 25 if you want, or even 30 like I'm at, and go from there. And again, if you have my stubs, again, I do 30. You don't have to. I just recommend 30 because for me, it's worked out best for me doing it that way. Okay. So now we've gone through that. Now here is the biggest, one of, I should say, the most important things to recognize when you do flip, and also why I specifically like to flip with the app. Okay? Actually, let me get my phone so I can look it over myself as well, so I can kind of describe to you why it's important, how to get there. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm on the app right now. I'm going to attempt to show you on the camera. Again, it's not going to be the best, but I'll try my best. Now, here is what's important for you to know when you flip when you flip in general, but you can see it on the app. You need to find out how many of that card has sold in a specific time frame. Okay? Now, here's how you do so. So I'm on the app right now, right? Here's the app, as you can see it. Okay? Now, what I do is, first and foremost, the third option on the very bottom bar brings you over here to the marketplace. Okay? So that highlighted on the bottom, it's there from the left, brings you to the marketplace. Over here, you can go on the filter, which is over here on the right side, if you can see it. Okay? Again, I know you really can't see the font. I apologize. I'll get better equipment one day. But you can filter over here, and on the filter you have, again, the same thing that you have on the console. Type, rarity, price, overall, the whole thing. Again, for me, I go touch price. This is a little bit different because you can actually filter out buy now price as well as sell now price. Again, buy now is what we focus on. So I do buy now price at my number, which is 30 grand. Again, it's whatever you want. You can do my recommendation. You can do what you so please, whichever works out best for you guys. Okay? And then you come over here to see all these different cards as well you can choose from. Now, the very first card, you can't see it, but it is a Jorge Posada, right? So what I'm going to do is touch the card itself, okay, to place the order. Now, when you're on this screen, again, this is how it would look like. I wish I could show you better, but this is kind of what you'll see for the most part, right? Now, the bar directly under the card art, okay, it shows current orders, trends, completed. Completed is what you're going to need to take a look at. Okay, it will show you the date and the time at which the card was complete, an order was completed, whether it be a buy order or a sell order. For me personally, I want to see, in essence, what I'm seeing on this card specifically. Again, it is now 10:27 a.m. my time. So I'm looking at the time right now and I see the orders were completed at 10:26, 10:25, 10:23, 2 at 22, 4 at 21, and it goes as much. In essence, just about 1, 2, 3, 4 a minute. These cards can be completed a lot at a time, okay? And why that matters to me is because what I want to do is I want to make sure that my buy orders actually go through, okay? I don't want to put a buy order and then it takes forever and I have to outbid again, for example. Or what I don't want to happen is I buy the card, but then I want to sell the card. And again, no one is actually buying the sell order. So my sell order, my stubs are just kind of sitting there like a dead duck. I don't want that either. That's why the completed tab is very important for me to see, because it lets me know how quickly these cards are going to go. And again, how I flip in bulk, which again, like I said before, I'll go over in just a minute. That is very important for me because I'm not going to be sitting here babysitting any of my cards. I'm just not. Okay? Example, I'm going to go ahead and type in real quick the Matt Olson we saw before, for example. That's actually a good one, okay? So, 1 second. Here we go. Show results for Matt Olson. Matt Olson, the card we saw before. The completed orders on the Matt Olson, okay? One got completed on 10:27, one at 9:46, one at 9:09. 903, 827, 823. These cards, or this card, is not being bought and sold as quickly. I'm going to stay away from that card because it's not actually doing me anything to buy and flip and just hold it for a hot minute while my stubs are just sitting there burning a hole in my pocket. So I would stay away from that card, okay? Now I can go into the logic behind why some cards sell and some cards don't, the main thing that I've realized is if the cards are no longer being, thrown into the market, you're not going to have a good time selling those cards. Example, previous event reward winners. You're not going to get those cards anymore. The Matt Olson is an example. You can look at Anthony Rendon, for example, is another one. Anthony Rendon, I think, was the first event reward, and it's really takes a while for you to buy and sell his card right now as well, okay? That's one. Cards in previous packs that are no longer in the packs. So a great example that I can give right now is, I'm going to show you actually over here real quick. So we'll just put the 8,000 real quick. Okay. So these cards over here, where are they? These cards over here, the Spring Breakout, right now they're worth a little bit. And the reason being is because the packs have flooded the market. That's fine. But if you remember a month or so ago, you were no longer able to get these packs. It was these in the Soul series. So these and these cards. You can no longer get these cards. And at that point, these cards are going for crazy value. But you couldn't buy or sell them because nobody wanted to buy or sell them. They were no longer in the market. There were not that many cards to touch. Okay? Right now the cards are good. These cards go pretty quickly, and also they're pretty cheap, so it helps you out. But that's the whole idea. You got to find out, looking through the completed tab, which cards are actually selling and which cards are not selling, so you can find out how quickly your flip will actually go. Okay? So, now that we've gone through all of that, okay, here is the last thing that I want to offer to you guys to help you on your way when you flip. And that is how to flip exactly. Here's what I do, okay? Again, I do it on the app. You can do it on the console. You can do it on the website. It is entirely up to you, but I want to show you how I do it. Once I have my filter, once I have my cards, once I know that I am set, okay, it's very simple. Again, you see that there are 16 pages on here, okay? Literally what I do is I will go through all 16 pages and place an order on just about every single card that, for me, fits how quickly it's going to sell. It has to fit that criteria. It must sell quickly. For me, there is a specific amount of profit that I'm looking for. Again, my profit margin does not have to be your profit margin. But just to let you know, I'm looking for 700 to 1,000 per flip. Okay? That's what I'm looking for. And sometimes I'll get like 2,000 to 3,000 per flip. Again, the Mike Cameron is a good example on that card. Okay? If it's those two main things, it sells quick, it sells for that much for profit, I'm placing an order on all those cards. Okay? Now, when I do it on the app, what I tend to do is, so on the app, right? Again, you have the Marketplace tab, which again is the third one from the left on the bottom. You also have, on the very bottom, you have the number 24. Touch that, and it brings you to over here, which you really can't see it. I feel bad, but in essence, it's your programs, collections, exchanges, inventory, packs. But the most important thing is in the very bottom is your completed orders, okay? So when I flip on the app, what I do is, on the Marketplace, I just scroll through every card. I want this card, that card. I'm going to put the orders on all those cards that fit my criteria. And then after every, I want to say 15 or so, I'll then switch to the 24, the My Completed Orders tab, and then I'll refresh, find out how many orders I've just bought or sold, and just flip those, okay? Now, how this works over here is you're going to get, on the first bit, about 15 orders you can scroll through. And in essence, how it works is it goes in reverse chronological order. So the most recent order is on the top and the oldest order is on the bottom, okay? And so what I do basically is real simple. I just kind of find out what are the orders that I just placed, and then I just buy or sell those cards. If I place 15 orders, for example, and like 10 have sold, if 10 have sold, then I'll go into my completed orders, and then I'll basically mess with those 10. If I bought a card, I sell the card. If I sold it, I rebuy it. And then I go that's the whole process. Once I've done all of those, and I get to a point where I can't do any more of those orders, I switch back on the app, back to the market, okay, and then I'll keep going down. The last card I bought was this card. The one after that is this card. I keep going all the way down. Now, I'll do that until I get to the very bottom of the 230 or so cards that I have a choice from, and whichever one I actually choose to use. And then once I'm done with that, at that point, my time is just spent on the completed orders tab. I keep refreshing, new orders, I'll just take care of those. And I can do that, and I'm good. I can do that basically all day if it allows me to, when I'm at work or otherwise, and I'm chilling. That would get me to do about, I think the most amount of orders I've done in one day was 737 orders in one day. Okay. Again, you can see how many I have completed in total, right? 737 orders in one day. That got me about, I think, 400,000 stubs in that one day, I want to say. So almost 500,000 in one day. Wasn't a bad haul. But again, that's what helped me get to, again, no money spent, 3 million stubs. You know, all the collections done basically. I'm pretty much set right now. I mean, even the programs themselves, again, minus Team Affinity, which I'm basically almost done with that one as well. East is almost done. West is lacking, but that can be done pretty quickly if I put my mind to it, no problem. I'm pretty much all set, right? Ryan Twin, by the way, thank you for the follow. I hope that you're enjoying. Of course, any questions, let me know. But you can see this is all done. And then of the other programs, they're literally all finished. Garrick's done. All the awards are done, as you know. Everything is done over here. I'm pretty much done and ready for season 2 if I want to play it, okay? And so all of this is to once again say, that's how I do it. You can do it too. And I promise you that if you follow these steps, if you have any questions and you follow my answers to your specific questions, you'll have no problem getting any card that you want to in this game. Finishing collecting Babe Ruth, finishing collecting, hopefully by tomorrow, Season 1 collections, which hopefully not too far away, but Season 1 collections. You can get your Brett, you can get your Willie, you can get your Satchel Paige. Whatever you want in this game, you can do so without spending a dime out of your wallet to do so. And of course, you're always going to get packs along the way as well. That always can help. All right? Guys, it has been a pleasure. Once again, if you have any questions, like I said, I'll leave my Twitter in the description, my link. You can always ask me questions in the comment section. I am here to help you guys out. Please let me know. I want to see you guys survive. I want to see you guys thrive. I want you guys to join the No Money Spent crew and get the multi-millions. I know we can all do it. Even in this year's game, I promise you, you can do it too. All right, guys. Love you. Take it easy. Until next time.